Okay, y'all. I'm trying not to cry right now. But here's a story that I have to share with you guys. And I'm sorry it's not in French because it's too much to say. But basically, I've had this book in my car in like this middle part for the longest time. And my grandpa wrote it, who passed away like 8 years ago. So it's my mom's dad, I mean. And it's the cutest book, and it's about like all of these moments God was in his life and our life, like just basically our family. And oh my God, like I'm trying not to cry, but it's so cute. And it's literally was buried, and I just found it. And there was a little note from him in it, and it says, "To Sue, Bob, Emily, Andrew, and Amy, the book is finally finished, and eternal thanks to you, Sue, for sharing your story, your typing, your advice with the title and cover, your support, patience, etc., etc. God is always with you and love you all so much. You are precious to him. God bless you all. Love, Dad, Papa, and Anna." Okay, that's literally nothing, and I'm crying. If this is already a minute long, I have to speed it up. But I'm just going to read the little introduction. Or do you guys want a story? No. I'm going to write the introduction. I felt compelled to write this book in thanksgiving to God after my wife's recent successful liver transplant. It was tremendous. It was a tremendous miracle. However, there were so many special events that happened in our lives that depicted the presence of God in some way. I decided to write about these events. I want the work of God to be recorded and remembered. It is my hope that this book will increase your faith. Yo, like, that's literally not even sad, and I'm crying just because I love my grandma so much. I swear. Okay. Oops, sorry. Okay. As you read this, I trust that God will touch you as you see his hands in the various events of our lives. Each chapter tells a different situation and a different time, each a faith story to build up your own faith. Some stories are simple and some are awesome. It's a matter of recognizing the goodness of God around us. Look for God. You won't see his face, but you will recognize his goodness. God is great. God loves you with an everlasting love and is always present. Read and enjoy his presence. Okay, that's all. This video is too long. Also, now I have 10 minutes, so I'm going to read one of these stories, one of my favorites. So, my grandfather was a detective in New York City, and this is a story that he has to share. It's called Jesus in the Police Department. As a detective in the New York City Police Department, it was my job to investigate all criminal matters that were assigned to me. I investigated many cases and made numerous arrests in my career, but there is just one case I would like to share with you that Jesus was particularly present throughout. I was assigned to a case involving a missing 4-year-old girl in Queens. A 4-year-old girl asked her mother to go to the candy store, which was only a very short distance from her house. This was not unusual, and she had gone to the candy store alone many times. Her mother said no. However, the child's grandmother was there and felt she should be allowed to have a treat at the candy store. The child was given money, left the house immediately, and never returned. The police were immediately called, and an intensive search and investigation began. As soon as I was assigned to the case, I went to my church, Our Lady of Peace, and asked Jesus, his Blessed Mother, to intercede on behalf of the child and her parents. I particularly asked if I could be his instrument in finding the child. A temporary police substation was set up in the cellar of a neighbor's house. A door-to-door search was made. The parents made pleas on television asking for help in finding their daughter. As the days went on and police reported I'm sorry, I'm not a very good reader out loud. As the days went on, police reported to the substation and were assigned to search and conduct interviews round the clock. Police dogs were called in as well as police helicopters. Civilian volunteers came in by the busload to search the Forest Park as it was a block away from the missing child's home. Hundreds of interviews were conducted. I was assigned to interview a 16-year-old boy that was a neighborhood friend of the missing girl. He had joined in on the search parties and perhaps may have known something about the girl's disappearance. The interview took place in the 102 PCT Detective Squad office. I had my rosary beads on the desk and asked the subject where he was the day of the girl's disappearance. He told us there were about 5 other detectives present. Everything he had done during the day of the child's disappearance, almost minute by minute. After about an hour, I was told by my captain to stop the interview and send the boy home with his parents who were at the police station. I had noticed a small gap in the young boy's account of his activities that day and asked permission to speak to the boy alone for 5 minutes. I was granted permission, and the boy and I went into the vacant adjoining room. It was then I said a prayer. For Jesus' sake, tell me where this 4-year-old boy is. As soon as I said this prayer, the boy began to cry and shake all over. He wrapped his arms tightly around me and said, "I'll tell you where the girl is if you do 2 things for me. Send my parents home and call a priest." I felt a power in that room I've never felt before. In fact, a part of me felt I wasn't even worthy to be there. The boy confessed that he had lured the girl into his basement. It was there that he suffocated her, wrapped her body in plastic, and hid her in the eave of his attic. He had planned to drop the body in a lake, but as the temporary police station was next to his house, he was unable to dispose of the body. A search warrant was obtained, and the body of the missing child was found exactly where he said it was. He pleaded guilty to the crime and was sent to jail. I was congratulated for my work on the case, but my response was the man upstairs. Jesus broke this case. I praise and thank him and give him the honor and glory. That's just the blurb of the book. Very, very harsh, but powerful. That's my story for today. Maybe I'll make a little series. Okay, I love you. If you watched this all, thank you. If not, it's okay.